This is Sky News with Jannat Jalil.
Good evening. Britain's Foreign Secretary has said he believes President Assad's regime was responsible for a chemical weapons attack on civilians in Syria. Thanks very much for joining us. Senior US intelligence officials say that Osama bin Laden was in active control of Al-Qaeda right up until the time of his death. Whoever makes fake sideburns has already done quite well, haven't they?
Well, there were quite a lot of them in the opening ceremony last night.
Yeah, and one person who's not going to have that problem is, of course, the Queen, who provided the biggest surprise of the night last night, isn't she? Can I ask you, have you benefited personally, or are you going to benefit personally from this flotation?
No, the shares of, it's not something that worries me or interests me.
So the answer to that is yes, you are going to benefit.
I don't know.
These are provincial polls, but in a sense they're also a referendum on your government.
Or give her a
but
second
surely
chance.
You can find lots of other teenagers who are doing just as much stuff as that, and probably more, who don't have racist, anti-gay and offensive views. You're watching Sky News. The top stories. Drummer Lee Rigby, the soldier killed in the Woolwich terror attack, is being remembered in church services right across the country. His family is expected to visit the scene where he died and to make a statement in the next few minutes. And you can see there Lee Rigby's mother-in-law taking out flowers to lay her own tribute, the family's own tribute, alongside all those others piled up there in the 4 days since he was murdered. People have been turning out in force, coming from all parts of the city, from other parts of the country, to lay flowers, to pay tribute to drummer Lee Rigby, who'd served in Afghanistan and returned home safely, only to be murdered on the streets of Woolwich.
Jannat Jalil.
Good morning. President Obama has declared a major disaster in New York and Long Island after Superstorm Sandy swept across the east coast of America. At least 16 people were killed, thousands of homes have been flooded, and dozens are now on fire in New York. Let's bring you some breaking news now about the Queen, who had to miss an engagement this weekend because of a stomach bug. Our royal correspondent Paul Harrison is here with me, and I understand you've got an announcement.
Yes.
As you say, she is 86, but I suppose the reason there's so much concern is because, despite her advanced age, she is in remarkably good health. Well, let's go live to our central London studio, where we can speak to Helen Walker, Chief Executive of the national volunteering charity Time Bank. Welcome to Sky News. Do you think the success of the Olympic volunteers could herald the rebirth of David Cameron's Big Society?
I'm not quite sure what Mr. Cameron's Big Society is.
China's economic development in recent years has created an ever-growing class of business people who've made a lot of money. But after you've bought the big house and the fast cars, what else do you spend your money on? A pastime that some argue started in the country 1800 years ago, only to die out during the Cultural Revolution, is making a comeback. Chris Hogg reports.
In a field in
And don't
eastern
forget,
China,
you can get much more on our website, bbc.com/news.